Hey guys, in the previous section we stopped at initialize payments. So we said we are going to create the sub accounts, then later get the response and apply the sub account code to our initialize payment, which is the main important part of what we are doing. So after we created this, we are going to add it. But before we create this sub account, we need to append it to a user table, so that anytime this sub account is created, it's going to be appended to a user along with the sub account ID, that is the sub account code itself. So first I'm going to refer to my user controller. So let's see, I believe we already have a controller that does that, but I don't think it's here. I don't think we already have that. We'll just have the model, but there's no controller that pass in the data. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to introduce the controller, user controller. So let me create a unique user controller. Then I'm going to link this user model into it. So PHP artisan make controller. So user controller. So we call this user controller, and this user controller will be responsible for the creating. We are not passing authentication, guys. We are not doing login logout. It's just creating the sub accounts and getting users sub accounts. That's all. So once this user controller is created, then we go to the user controller.php. Under this place, we are going to have create sub account. So we are going to return sub account view. So here we have create sub account. So here we are going to be accepting a request. Let's accept this request, it's very important. We are going to be accepting this request. And over here we are going to return a view. So currently we don't have the view, but we are going to have pages view slash create sub account. Okay, so now let me copy this, Ctrl C, go to my view, then inside my view create a new folder called pages, enter the inside my pages folder, create a new file called subaccount.blade.php. okay, so within this place I'm going to have my sub account creation, and on the other end we are also going to create getting all sub accounts so that we can initialize some payments to the sub account. So here I'm going to have let me just copy everything we have on this landing page, or let's just optimize this. Let's optimize everything we have here. So Ctrl X, so create a new page, create a new folder called ink. Within this ink folder we are going to have the header dot blade.php, pass the header, and also do the same for the footer.blade.php. so within the footer I'm going to pass this guy to the footer, then go to the footer, paste it here, click on save, and return back to the pages where we have this guy. Then within this place now we are going to extend what we just passed down to the header. So point the folder and we call this header. So we are going to extend this guy, and within this place let's just introduce something. Let's say I'm working, just to confirm this works, and do the same for the footer. So let's also extend for the footer, ink, then footer. So click on save, and we have the create sub account page. And let's also save this guy because we don't really need this page anymore. Split.blade. okay, so now this create sub account.blade, we are going to go back to the user controller, and as you can see we already pointed it to view pages. As you can see, this is the pages here. So we have the pages and slash create sub account. okay, so what I'm going to do now is go to my view, go to my URL, my route section, then I'm going to generate this part. So create sub account. So within this place we are going to have this then we are going to return the method that we created. So user controller, create sub account. Okay, so let's click on save and let's access this URL to confirm this is working. So slash create sub account, is it working? User controller does not exist, so we need to import this user controller. Sorry, enter, imported. As you can see, it is now imported into that place. Refresh. Now as you can see, we have what I'm working. So within this section of working, which is this create sub account area, we are going to push in our form data here. So form, the form is going to be a post, and within this place action is the same location, and the post is, and the method is post. So within this form area, we are going to be passing what we are required to pass into the PayStack. So what do we have into this PayStack section? We have the business name, bank code. So let me just copy everything I have here. Control C and go to create sub account, paste it here, just copy this and introduce it here. div dot form group, div dot form group. Then inside form group I have label, and my label is going to be business name. So take out the underscore and change this to capital letter. Within this place, introduce your inputs, and this is going to be a text. Name is business name, and class is going to be form control. Sorry, form control. So form control. Then we are going to also create for bank code. So do the same for bank code, and we do the same for account number, which is going to be a number and not a text. Click on save. Then the percentage charge is also going to be a number, so let's do the percentage charge. Now this will be done. Awesome. So now let's take out this guy, and don't forget we need to pass our CSRL, which is the security token that is going to be accepted by Laravel. Don't forget about that. So once we submit this post request, it's going to post to the same URL. So here is the button. So let's pass the button here. Let's pass button button dot btn primary. Let me use primary. Yes, within this place we are going to have what create sub account. So in case you are asking how can you create the sub account, this is how we are going to follow the process to do that. So click on refresh. We have this long list which is too much, so let's try to introduce a container within this section. So let me just introduce a container, div dot container. So within this place I'm going to pass the form so everybody can be fine. Refresh. So we have this. So the spacing is not really good enough, we just need to still pass some padding. So padding of 5, let's see. Okay, and for this button we need to just add let's add padding top of 3. Let's see, sorry, not padding top, my of 3. Yes, awesome. So for the rest also let's add my3 to the rest of the div. So let's just mark everything we have here. Okay, pass it and refresh. Okay, so this is great. Business name, bank code, account number, percentage charge. So the business name I'll be using is Adeleye. Let me type it very well. Make sure it's their bank name that you're using, Adeleye Yodeji. And the bank code, this bank code at the moment we don't have bank code, so I'm going to go to PayStack and pick the bank code. Now I told you earlier that you can just grab this. It's not an offense. It's not an offense. It's an open source that you can just copy. So copy outer HTML and replace it with what we have here. Click on save and it's going to automatically address itself. So just highlight everything you have here, Ctrl X, and paste it into the select area. So take out this and click on save. For this select bank, just add code to it, select bank code, or let's just use select bank, and we are going to be the one to know that okay, it is code. So let's change this to select bank. Yeah, so I think this is great. So go back to the coding location, refresh. Now as you can see, we have the banks selected for us. So I'm going to pass my name again, Adeleye Ayodeji. Sorry, small letter. Then the bank I'm using is United Bank for Africa. My account number, so I will just have to copy my account number from my device, then paste it into my MacBook. So let me try to do the copy from my phone. So copy and paste it here. Awesome. So percentage charge is going to be 20. So the reason why I add this 20 is 20 is going to go to me. I mean the main account. 20 is going to go to the main account, and the 80% remaining is going to go for this sub account that we are creating. So after this has been added, click on create sub accounts, and this is going to process. But at the moment, we have not really had a callback to undo post request on our on our page. So we are going to go back to the user controller. Under this place, we are going to specify post request. So check if is post request. So once is a post request, then we are going to undo this create sub account. So if it is post request for now guys, let's just return the data just to confirm this is working. So return all the requests that is coming. So let me click on create sub accounts. Okay, sorry guys, go back to the web.php. It's very important. Just this route, just pass any to it so that we can send both get and post. So reload and click on continue. So we have this. So we have the business name, we have the bank code, we have account number, we have percentage charge. So what we have here that we don't need is token. So this token, now we are going to unset this token. Let's go back to user controller and unset this token. So here, let me just still return here. Then over here, I'm going to unset token. Then token is going to be unset from the request, and we should have something new. So as you can see, we have the business bank code and the account number, also the percentage charge. So all this data is going to be sent down to PayStack create sub account. So at the moment, I don't think we have imported this guy, so we need to import this PayStack controller. So let me try to import this PayStack controller. At the moment, PayStack controller is not coming in, so this is not the distance that we are trying to illustrate. So let me just pass this manually. So use PayStack, we have to just pass this manually. So use then slash PayStack. Let's confirm is the controller. Control C, then paste it here, close, and we have this guy. Then this sub account is going to let's just change the sub account to static so that we can access it statically. So click on save, do the same for this guy, static, so we can access it statically. So click on save, and this is going to be resolved. Okay, so now we have this PayStack splits and create sub accounts, and this is the data here. So let's now accept this data, because at the moment we are not accepting the data. So this data is what we have there. Then the data is going to be returned down to this place. So within this place, we are going to pass in the data. Awesome. So once the data is passed, then this response that we have is going to be returned back to the creation. So return response what JSON. So click on save, and we should be given the response over here. Okay, so let's now refresh this page. But before we refresh the page, let me go to my sub account location on PayStack, reload this page, and let's see if we have any sub accounts at the moment. Okay, so this is loading. It's loading. We are currently on test mode. It's loading, trying to get the data at the moment. My network is a bit slow today. So now we have no sub accounts. So now let's reload this page. to process this request we just added. This is user controller, and we are checking if it is a post method. If it's a post method, take out the token, and one token has been taken out. Gather all the data into data variable, pass it down to create sub account, and as an array into sub account method. Then sub account process the transaction for us and return us the response. Okay, so let's refresh. Hopefully it work. Let's see, will it work? Wow, it's work. Awesome. So now as you can see, this automatically creates our sub account for us. So if I go back to PayStack, refresh this page, let's see if we are going to have the sub account. Loading. Okay, loading. Okay, so we have the sub account. You can see we have the sub account created. So I'm going to delete this sub account, but before I delete it, let me show you the response. So now we have status true, message sub account created. Then the data is what we have here. So what we now need to save to the user account table, that is user database, is this sub account code, which is very, very important. So this sub account code is what I'm going to capture and add it to the user table. So now I'm going to copy this sub account code, and I guess I have not migrated at the moment. I've not connected to the database. So what I'm going to do is to check the user what's it called, the user table. So user, let's look for the user table. So over here we have the name, we have the email, password. So what I'm going to be passing next now is sub account code. So this sub account code has to be passed into this place, and it is unique, so you don't have a two duplicate or duplicate code in our user table. So once this has been created, I'm going to run the migration, and we can now pass in this sub account code once we create the user next time.